G'day everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we have a reaction video for us today. This is going to be 25 best national parks in the USA. Now, this is their list, remember. You might have other favorites, whatever. Let me know down in the comment section. So I think I read there's 63 national parks in America, I think, in the USA. But let me know which one is your favorite down below. So let's jump in. Let's do 25 best national parks in the USA. There might be a lot of stopping and there might be a lot of wows in this video. So I do apologize ahead of time.
The USA is a really big place. Within the wide open spaces of the contiguous United States, as well as Alaska and the far-flung islands of Hawaii, there's just about every climate and ecosystem you can imagine, from temperate rainforests and pine-clad mountains to deserts and scrublands. Naturally, there are a lot of national parks dedicated to preserving the best that nature has to offer in the USA. Otherworldly sandstone monuments, multicolored hot springs, craggy coastlines, scorching deserts. It's all here. Have a look at the best national parks in America. Number 25, Big Bend. The aptly named Big Bend National Park in Texas is so called because it's set in a dramatic meander of the Rio Grande. On one side of the river is Texas, USA, and on the other side is Mexico. Almost the same size as Rhode Island, Big Bend is known for its diversity and has loads to discover on its many trails. The Chisos Basin is the most popular area in the park and features mountain views, but the Chihuahuan Desert, home to real-life roadrunners and coyotes, is really the place to escape into nature.
Wow. Oh. I know when we did the Texas video, they kind of touched on, you know, they do the bike tours and whatever else down there. It looks amazing. Amazing spot. Look at it. Wow.
Number 24, Saguaro. Saguaro is home to the classic Southwest American cactus. Their iconic shapes of the park's namesake stand tall in this deserted area in Arizona. Divided into east and west portions, the two halves of the park are separated by the city of Tucson. Both portions of the national park offer an abundance of trails amid its desert landscapes. The Rincon Mountain District is the larger eastern portion of the park and serves up adventurous horseback rides and camping opportunities. In the west, the Tucson Mountain District is spectacular and is well worth the effort.
Ooh. Wow, look at the colors. Look at the colors in that. Wow, that's a lot of cacti as well, I gotta say. That's a lot of cacti. Holy moly.
Number 23, Shenandoah.
Okay, yeah.
A breathtaking national park, Shenandoah is full of an abundance of wildflowers in summer. In autumn, however, the trees burst into brilliant oranges and reds for some prime fall foliage. Situated 75 miles from Washington, D.C., there are lengthy hiking trails to discover in this national park. In fact, part of these trails make up around 100 miles of the Appalachian Trail. Hiking is certainly the order of the day here. The climb up the peak.
Is that a bear? I thought that was somebody coming out of the... No, it's just a bear. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just a bear, mate. Whatever.
Old Rag Mountain, for example, is strenuous, but worth scrambling for the views. For those less interested in hiking, the Skyline Drive means stunning vistas from the comfort of your car.
Oh, look at it.
Number 22,
Wow.
Mesa Verde. Mesa Verde is the perfect spot for adventures among nature and to understand more about mysterious centuries-old cultures. This is the site where ancient Puebloans once lived in their cliff dwellings. Where they went or why they left, nobody knows.
We've kind of touched on that before. It's so weird they just kind of upped and left, or nobody knows. Such a weird thing that happened. I hope they get to some kind of I hope they kind of figure out. It's great looking space.
But their houses built in precarious places can be seen to this day.
Wow.
Because of the important history, walking off-trail is forbidden, as is entering the ancient dwellings without a ranger. Take the Mesa Top Road circuit that loops around 10 of the excavated pueblos, and you'll be able to discover more about these fascinating old dwellings.
Dang.
Number 21, Death Valley. Death Valley
Okay.
National Park might sound like somewhere that's quite hot and hellish, but there's actually an abundance of nature to enjoy here. There are huge boulders seemingly lying around on a grand scale, canyons carved by gushing streams that slice through the land, sand dunes that actually sing, and soaring mountains to tackle. True to its title, it is nevertheless a scorching area,
Yeah,
one of
look
the
at it.
hottest
Wow.
spots in the U.S. Dante's View offers a panoramic vista across the southern portion of Death Valley Basin from atop the Black Mountains.
I think the highest temperature's been recorded there. I think it was 54 or 56 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in freedom units. You can look it up. But yeah, bloody hot. That's what it is. Bloody hot.
Number 20, Crater Lake. The only national park in Oregon, Crater Lake National Park, is named after the eponymous lake, formed by a huge volcanic eruption around 7,700 years ago.
It's hard to believe that scorching desert and then this Crater Lake is in the same country and not too far away from each other either, on the same side. It's crazy.
This lake, formed by a huge volcanic eruption around 7,700 years ago. It's the deepest lake in the entire United States. The sparkling waters of this magnificent lake itself reflect the surrounding craggy mountain peaks in its mirror-like surface for a gorgeous effect and some inspiring photo opportunities. There are over 90 million trails that crisscross the park, but most of these can only be accessed in summer as snow covers trails for much of the year.
Look at it.
Number 19, Acadia. New England's one and only national park, dating back to 1916, Acadia sits on the coast and boasts some dramatic views of this region's storied shoreline. Acadia National Park is all about rewarding mountain hikes, strolls along the shore, beautiful bike rides, and drives that will induce oohs and ahs. There's a surprisingly varied landscape to discover in this national park, from its dense forests and languid lakes to boulder-strewn beaches dotted with lonely lighthouses. There are also sandy beaches and islands, such as the famous Mount Desert Island, to explore here.
Wow, look at the color in that sky. Oh my God.
Number 18, Canyonlands.
Oh.
Canyonlands National Park is a truly otherworldly place, with a landscape more like something you would expect on Mars than Earth. The largest national park in Utah is all about its canyons. These snake around its ancient landscape, which is also punctuated by 1,000-foot-tall white cliffs above the Colorado and Green Rivers, as well as strange rock formations. The park itself is divided into 4 sections by both these rivers, forming a Y shape in this rocky, alien stretch of land. Island in the Sky sits in the middle and is the busiest part of the park. For good reason. The views are incredible.
Wow. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at that.
Number 17, Redwood. Home to the giant trees of the same name, Redwood National Park lies on the northwestern Pacific coast in California. It's home to some of the tallest trees in the world. There's an enigmatic mix here of lush coastal scenery and lush prairie lands. The redwood trees are also some of the most ancient trees on the planet, with branches covered in moss and ferns. There are plenty of trails to enjoy walking through the vast forests, which make for good days out. To really soak up what the park has to offer, it boasts campgrounds and backcountry sites for overnight stays. Number 16, Grand Teton. Grand Teton in the Rocky Mountains is a wild wilderness of 12 peaks sculpted through the ages by glaciers. This includes, of course, the Grand Teton itself, which stands at an impressive 13,775 feet above sea level.
Dang.
The beautiful landscape here is just begging to be hiked. There are captivating canyons filled with fresh forests to explore, crystal alpine lakes to marvel at, and fragrant wildflowers which provide pops of color. This rugged land plays host to all manner of beasts, including elks, moose, and bears.
God, look at those peaks. They're just so dramatic. It's just, I couldn't imagine watching them every day. It'd just be something special. Dang.
Number 15, Mount Rainier. The 5th highest peak in the United States, Mount Rainier itself is an icon of a mountain that can be seen through much of Washington state. Rainier is actually an active volcano that last erupted as recently as 1854. Close to the urban areas of Puget Sound, Mount Rainier National Park and its 26 glaciers is a hiker's paradise, with fabulous hiking trails lacing the foothills and carpets of flowers blooming in spring and summer. Many people attempt to climb to the snowy peak of Rainier, but it's tough going. Only half the adventurers who try go the whole way. Number 14, Sequoia. This national park is named after another species of the sequoia family, the Sequoiadendron giganteum, colloquially known as the giant redwood. Drive-through trees and huge ancient examples of the redwoods here characterize the park. In fact, it's here that you will find General Sherman, a giant redwood that's claimed to be the largest living tree on Earth. There are also deep 10,000-year-old caves that hide supersized stalactites. For a breathtaking vista of the Sierra Mountains, head to Eagle View.
God, those trees are just massive. Absolutely massive. It's amazing something that big can actually grow and be supported. You know, it's just huge. Huge.
Number 13, Arches. Another of Utah's national parks that is made up of Martian badlands. The sandstone landscape here is out of this world. There are a sublime selection of rock arches, striped pink and red buttes, as well as other strange and intricate rock formations. Landscape Arch is actually one of the largest natural arches in the world, measuring in at 306 feet across. This is an easy-access national park with a selection of short hikes to embark on, but possibly more popular are rock climbing and canyoning. The Fiery Furnace, a famous formation, blazes orange and red as the sun sets each day.
It's amazing that so many formed in that one area. That's fascinating. Okay.
Number 12, Glacier. Glacier National Park boasts an outstanding natural...
That only made it to 12? Okay. I've seen pictures of Glacier and it looks stunning. I can't believe it's not in the top 10. That's crazy.
That has been, as you might expect from the name, carved and sculpted over thousands of years by glaciers. It's a land of dramatic rocky outcrops, snow-topped peaks, raging waterfalls, and beautifully reflective lakes. There are an impressive amount of hiking trails here that wind like arteries of adventure around the jaw-dropping landscape. This is also the place where grizzly bears roam in abundance in the dense mountain forests. Popular scenic drive going to the Sun Road is an excellent way to see the beauty of the national park without setting foot out of your car.
I mean, look at that view. Look at that bloody view. Oh, that's breathtaking. Breathtaking. Jeez. Wow.
Number 11, Rocky Mountains.
Okay.
One of the most spectacular slices of nature in Colorado, the Rocky Mountain National Park, is awash with imposing granite mountains, aqua-colored alpine lakes, and meadows that burst into life come summer. It's the perfect place for adventure amidst nature, with a selection of trails where you can find peace, quiet, and serenity. The wilderness of the national park makes it the ideal host for many wild animals, too.
God, look how dark that river is as well, with all the tannins in it. Ooh.
The wilderness of the national park makes it the ideal host for many wild animals, too, like elk, moose, and black bear. Bear Lake, one of the 10 lakes in the park, is a famous scenic spot for visitors, where you can soak up views of the glacial valleys and mountaintops. Number 10, Everglades. A gigantic area of land that's as famous as Florida itself, the Everglades National Park is home to vast tracts of swamp and the ubiquitous alligators that make the Everglades what they are. You can take a kayak out and explore the mangrove waterways for yourself, slicing across the silent waters of the myriad lakes. Or you could opt for a quintessential airboat tour of the swamp. The Anahinga Trail is where you can spot cold-blooded gators basking.
I don't know if I'd take a kayak out on the Everglades. No.
Boat tour of the swamp. The Anahinga Trail is where you can spot cold-blooded gators basking in the sun, and the eponymous Anahinga lying in wait for their prey. You can even head out on a nocturnal walk with a ranger.
Dang. Oh, hello. Looks like an osprey. Ah, that's pretty close. Hello, mate. Dang. Dang, that's a lot of gators.
Number 9, Bryce Canyon.
Okay.
Bryce Canyon National Park is famous for its rock formations. Known as hoodoos, these spire-like sandstone rocks jut into the sky for a supremely interesting landscape. It's been sculpted over time by freeze-thaw erosion and has morphed the soft sandstone into the marvelous landscape it is today. There are various trails, such as the Rim Trail, weaving through the rocks. Bryce Point is the perfect spot for views out over the so-called Silent City, with the vista below made up of walls of rock and hoodoos looking like somewhere from another time and place. Number 8, Hawaii volcanoes. Set on the Big Island in the Pacific, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park encompasses Mauna Loa. This massive volcano has a summit that, surprisingly, is sometimes covered in snow. The national park also features volcanic coasts made from cooled lava flows, rich rainforests, magnificent green meadows in the mountains, and geological formations such as lava tubes. Kilauea, a shield volcano in the national park, has erupted as recently as 2018. The last eruption quite literally changed the shape of the park itself, an insight into the power of nature. The park remains open, but some areas are understandably closed.
It's dripping into the water. It's like, oh my, I'd love to go see it, but I don't know if I'd be going, oh, is this going to erupt? Is that lava in the distance? What's going on? I'd love to see it though, but man, it looks bleak when there's nothing there. Obviously, the lava flow over vegetation and whatever, but it'll be fascinating to go and see for sure.
Areas are understandably closed.
Ooh.
Number 7. Carlsbad Caverns. Located 25 miles from a former ranch town, Carlsbad Caverns National Park is a network of caverns and is, in equal parts, an eerie and incredible sight to behold.
Yeah, look at it.
The main chamber of the cave itself, called the Big Room, is impressive, to say the least. To access it, you can choose to take an ear-popping elevator that runs the equivalent to the entire height of the Empire State Building, or you can take a snaking pathway into the subterranean abyss below. The Big Room is a cathedral-like opening, complete with a trail and the largest stalagmite in the world.
Holy moly. They even look like columns in a cathedral. Wow.
Number 6. Great Smoky Mountains.
Oh,
This
hello.
national park is a world of beautiful nature. Think verdant forests as far as the eye can see, glistening waterfalls, and undulating mountain peaks. The forests themselves come alive in springtime, with a rainbow of wildflowers blazing between the trees. Autumn brings the famous fall foliage for a sea of auburn, and winter is all about snow. Dubbed the Smokies because of the misty mountaintops, exploring this national park is like stepping into the past. There are still remote mountain communities who call this region home. It's a great spot to truly unwind and leave the modern world behind. Number 5. Denali. Denali National Park is the monumental tract of land that makes up Alaska's most famous national park. The centerpiece, by a long stretch, is Denali. Formerly known as Mount McKinley, this towering mountain is the tallest in North America, at 6,190 meters above sea level. It's truly a sight to behold, as the snowy tip seems to actually pierce the sky. Snowy boreal forests, desolate tundra, jagged mountains, and lakes all play host to caribou, moose, grizzly bear, and wolves. For those seeking true wilderness, this might just be the place. Number 4. Zion. Utah's splendid national parks don't get better than Zion.
There's been a few in Utah. I wouldn't have... I've heard of Utah having national parks, obviously, but I didn't think, we'd hit on so many of them today, but I must admit, they're just beautiful. Beautiful. All right.
Zion. Utah's splendid national parks don't get better than Zion. The red and white cliffs and buttes that make up Zion Canyon slice into the air. They're edged by greenery, making for a colorful place to soak up this amazing wonder of nature. And there are some great ways to get right into the thick of things. The Narrows, for example, is a 16-mile adventure through the canyon and along the Virgin River at the base of it.
Okay.
Elsewhere, there's the Big Springs, a hike that weaves along the eponymous Fern Edge Spring itself.
Oh.
Number 3, Yosemite.
Oh, okay.
This famous national park is a popular place to explore some of California's best nature. There are giant sequoias that tower into the air at Mariposa Grove. There's the glorious green of the Yosemite Valley with its granite walls. And there's the spectacular Vernal Fall, falling 713 feet to the floor below. Owing to its popularity, Yosemite National Park welcomes a whopping 4 million visitors annually. But thankfully, there's space for everyone amid the sweeping peaks of Half Dome and the gleaming lakes.
I gotta tell you a story that we were watching a TV show, my wife and I, and it takes part in Yosemite. It's got Eric Banner in it. I think it came out earlier this year, started this year. But when we were watching it, I asked my wife, I said, "Oh, do you know where this is filmed at, where it's meant to be, taking place?" And she said, "Yeah, it's Yosemite." And I thought, what the hell is Yosemite? She didn't know it's pronounced Yosemite. So it's just one of those things. If you haven't heard it before, you haven't seen it written down, it can be a little difficult to say. Yosemite. Yeah, so that's a funny little story, but I never let it live it down, that's for sure. God, it looks amazing.
Number 2, Grand Canyon. Renowned the world over.
So I take it Yellowstone is going to be number 1. Grand Canyon number 2. Okay, that's a big call.
The Grand Canyon needs no introduction. One of the largest canyons in the world, it really has to be seen to be properly appreciated. Whether you visit the north, south, east, or west rim areas, it's always a giant sculpture of light and shadow that barrels its way across an awesome landscape. Around the national park that encompasses it, there are a whole host of trails and viewpoints. Cape Royal on the north rim is a top vista for many major parts of the Grand Canyon. You can even reach down to the canyon floor over a mile down in some places via steep, meandering trails.
We did a video of somebody hiking from the north rim to the south rim. Just being on the canyon floor just gives it a completely different viewpoint as well. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic video they did.
Number 1, Yellowstone. The granddaddy of American national parks, Yellowstone is the oldest in the United States and the world, having been founded in 1872. When it was first discovered, stories of the magnificence of the area were passed off as lies and tall tales. You can see why. Erupting geysers here belch steam and water, such as the clockwork Old Faithful. There are boiling hot springs like the Grand Prismatic Spring. Thanks to differing temperatures and minerals as the water spreads out, this is a veritable rainbow of unbelievable colors. There's even the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, a natural wonder in granite. This place is a true icon of must-see nature.
Wow. I tell you what, watching that video and watching those views and the vistas and the environment, it just goes to show that how varied the United States is. You know, everything from deserts to, you know, snow-covered peaks. It's just ridiculous views. As I said, I think there's about 63 national parks. Obviously, this is their top 25. You know, everybody's got their own choices, what you're after, you know, walking, hiking, biking, whatever it is you're looking for, you know, you find the one that you like. But those views, it's just breathtaking. It's just from those down from the rivers to, you know, you've got the bison in the field there, you know, you got the peak in the background. It's just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I can see why, you know, we always say that, you know, if you have a country like that, you don't need to go anywhere. You know, like Australia, we have a lot of that as well, you know, a little bit more desert in the middle, but granted, but yeah, we've got a lot of stuff here that, you know, it takes you a while to see too. So that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love that. I love that. As I said, it is their 25. So let me know if you have a top national park that you go to. Let me know if you enjoyed this one, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. Make sure you stay safe, and I'll definitely see you in the next reaction video. Oh, you're still here? You want more content? Why don't you check out my Patreon down here? You'll get plenty more content and some exclusive videos over there too. If not, why not check out this one over here?